Jordan's king Abdullah, who is 59 years old, he accused his brother and his government, who is 41 years old, Prince Hamza, of promoting sedition in the country backed by a foreign nation. In other words, they are saying my brother is trying to attempt a coup, and that happened actually a few months ago. He's trying to attempt a coup to overthrow the government of Jordan, and they're saying that a foreign nation is involved in this. So I want you to take a look at some of these videos, and you will be able to understand. The other thing that also is very, very important, dear brothers and sisters, the regime, they arrested Hamza as many as 17 other people. Okay, 17 other people they have also arrested. The plot, quote unquote, the plot is totally contained, according to Ayman Safadi, Jordan's foreign minister and deputy prime minister. He announced that while open squabbles between royals in other countries happen often, they are not common occurrence in Jordan and have never been this serious in the modern era. This kind of family feud is extremely rare. Jawad Anani, former Jordan's deputy prime minister and foreign minister, said, this last episode has actually shocked the Jordanian public because they have never experienced something like this. Dear brothers and sisters, the point here being is that Jordan right now is in big trouble, and we are already seeing it happening in Jordan with the King Abdullah. Also, there is another point. Still, the experts summarize that King Abdullah and his government, they have engineered this crisis. So one party is saying his brother is responsible. Another party is saying, some other critics of King Abdullah saying that no, it's King Abdullah who did this because he wanted to stifle the dissent in his country against his government, and he wanted to also silence Prince Hamza, his own brother, who is an open critic of his brother King Abdullah of the government. And he's saying that the people have no confidence in the government. But if King Abdullah has really did this intentionally, if that's the case, the events of this past weekend, what happened with the coup and all that, show the royal family's fight has grown so large that it cannot be contained anymore. So basically, even if King Abdullah is doing it, then whoever did that, regardless, it means that this fight in the royal family between brothers is something that cannot be contained, is totally out of control. Abdullah, he assumed power, I should let you know, after his father King Hussein died, 2 weeks after his father died, and he appointed Prince Hamza immediately as the crown prince. But obviously King Hamza, his brother, is not a crown prince anymore. Few points I want to make mention about this, dear brothers and sisters, because we talk about the end of time and whatnot. So I think it is very, very important for us to see for what it is at the moment. So let me take a look. Let me show you the map here. As you can see, Jordan is very close to, here is Jordan. Okay, it's very, very close to obviously Israel. In fact, they have border with West Bank, Gaza, Jordan, and as you can see, they are very close to the Gaza Strip and many other strategic locations, Haifa, and also close to Saudi Arabia. They're also close to Iraq, Syria, Lebanon. So Jordan is a very, very important strategic place in the world map. Therefore, the reason I'm showing you this map is because of this location, strategic location, the importance of it, all of these other players in the region will have a eagle's eye on Jordan's affairs, because if something happens to Jordan, obviously this will have a impact on these other countries as well. So they want to make sure that Jordan, whatever is happening, is not going to be a negative for their own country. So this is what is happening right now. Now I want to make mention of few points, because again, as I said, we talk about the end of time. Point number one, very, very important. Unrest. Okay, this kind of fighting and unrest regarding who will be ruling the country and who will be the king and the queen and whatever, this is growing and getting much worse. We have already seen what happened in Saudi Arabia. Obviously, MBS, his family members, his brother and his uncle, they did not like him to be the crown prince. Nevertheless, he did become the crown prince, and then he imprisoned them. He imprisoned his brothers because they did not agree with that. So unrest and things like this, fighting between the royal families, is becoming very, very common. Obviously, we have also seen what happened with King Abdullah and his brother Hamza. Number 2 is, dear sisters, unrest in Medina before the coming of the Mahdi. The prophecy is ever more possible. Because of what we see right now, it makes all sense that this is how the culture is in that region right now, where people fight for kingship. They want to be the head of the state. This is something that gives us a clear indication that the prophecy of Rasulullah when the Mahdi will come, and we know before the Mahdi will come, 3 Khalifa, the son of 3 Khalifa, will fight. So looking at all of these things, it makes all sense. Point number 3, okay, that was point number 2. Point number 3 is Jordan, as I said, has become more vulnerable for the Yahudi to interfere in their country. As I said in my other videos, that Yahudis would perhaps go to Jordan or Egypt next. And we know from the hadith, Rasulullah he mentioned that Egypt's currency will fall. And as you can see behind me, this is Prince Hamza. He actually came out in public to make a statement, and this is a video he recorded. This is Prince Hamza. Okay, that was so. Not only the Yahudi will try to interfere in Jordan's affairs because of the unrest, because the leadership is a little bit shaky right now. We do not know how far it can carry with King Abdullah, but Yahudi will have their eyes on Jordan, because if Jordan turns against Israel, they would not like it. So before that happens, they would go there, try to have some kind of control, if you like, so that the situation in Jordan will not deteriorate. Now, I will explain more on this. Let me go to point number 4, which is that if Jordan falls, okay, if Jordan is gone, it will be a hotbed for terrorism. Okay, and you know what I mean by that. Even though terrorism in Jordan is very, very rare. Even though it is very, very rare, the country is designated as safe and holds 58 out of the 130 in the 2016 Global Terrorism Index. So according to the global index, Jordan is a very safe country, 58 rank. And after if there is any kind of destabilization of this region, we will see, dear brothers and sisters, that the terror, all this Atangbad, all of this nonsense will find a hotbed in that country. And that country, once it's been torn apart, once that country suffers and loses its leadership, then obviously it will be a big problem for not only Israel but also for other countries. So Israel will, Yahudi will try their best to make sure that this country is not anybody else's control other than they themselves. We have to understand this thing. Now, the most important question is that, okay, so if Jordan is having this issue, okay, if Jordan is having this issue, who is responsible for it? Because King Abdullah looks like he is indicating that might be some foreign country, okay, some foreign country is responsible for what is happening. Some people are saying it is Saudi Arabia who is doing this, who is trying to get rid of King Abdullah. Why? Because King Abdullah, he is a big problem for Saudi Arabia and an obstacle for Saudi Arabia to normalize their ties with the Yahudi. Saudi Arabia wants to normalize ties with Yahudi, but if Jordan is not normalizing their ties with Yahudi under King Abdullah, then Saudi Arabia will be ashamed in the international stage, because people will say, look, even King Abdullah, even Jordan, they are not siding with the Yahudi. How could you do that? So Saudi Arabia, they are trying to gain some influence over Jordan's policy on Israel, so that they can use Jordan as a as a excuse for them to also normalize their ties with the Yahudi. But right now they cannot do it, and that could be a reason why Saudi Arabia is trying to get rid of King Abdullah and trying to have Prince Hamza in his position. We do not know if that is the case, or if it is done by, could be done by UAE. It could be done by Egypt. We do not know exactly, but looks like with all certainty there is a foreign Muslim country, most likely Muslim country, is involved in trying to overthrow King Abdullah. Do I support him personally? No, because a lot of things that he is doing, it is not good for the country. I mean, and at the same time I can say yes, I like him for the fact that he is someone who is very sensible when he makes decision with foreign countries, especially with Israel. So in that case, yes, I support him. But in terms of running the country, like his country, subhanallah, like Jordan is a very rich country, and if there was no corruption in the country would have prospered a lot. I have a friend from Jordan. This is a beautiful country, but the country is still backwarded. And look at Israel, like look at the Yahudi, they are so advanced. They have all the advanced technology and whatnot. So in that case, I don't like them. But some other case I do not completely, in other words, I do not completely agree with Jordan and King Abdullah. But may Allah protect the country from the evil eye of the Yahudi and whatnot, and also the Muslim countries that are looking to pounce on it, and make them prosperous, inshallah. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, like this video if you did, share this video, and I will see you soon again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.